Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about the word no and the fact that there are situations when no is a complete sentence. And those situations always present themselves in the form of a really loved one, a mom, a dad, a sibling, a cousin, a best friend that is being manipulative. They know that you're the type of person that just doesn't like confrontation or doesn't want to hurt their feelings or make them feel bad about anything. So you tend to say yes and to whatever it is they ask, even if it will be at a disadvantage to you. So I just thought I would share a video with you about just how to state your case and how to remain calm and collected about it and not feel guilty. Or even if you feel guilty, like, just get over it after a few minutes or a few hours, depending on how the other person reacts. But if these are people that really love you, genuinely love you, then it shouldn't be a problem. Like, just let them deal with it. Let them be angry while they walk away. As long as you don't have to do what they're asking you to do, then you're cool. But I'm not talking about situations where you really do need to help out and help them resolve a problem. But if it's something that's just constantly reoccurring, these are people that continue to come to you to help them take care of things that they are capable of taking care of themselves, then it's an issue that you need to address. Otherwise, you're always going to find yourself in that situation. And it's going to become really, really easy for you to say yes to everyone and everything else. And before you realize it, you don't have time for yourself. You're not doing things that better your life. Instead, you're investing your time and sometimes your finances, your car, your house, you're investing it on other people instead of on yourself. And there are times when that is not okay, because if you are someone that has the personality or the character of a yes man or a yes girl, then you're going to end up in a situation where you're the one that needs help and nobody can help you. And it's because you've always been the enabler. So you never actually allowed the people around you to fend for themselves, to take care of themselves. So when it comes time for them to reciprocate things that you've done for them, they really can't do it. And sometimes it's really not because they don't want to, but it's because they've always looked up to you to be the one that takes care of things. So this isn't just a discussion on just a simple, oh, someone's asking me for money and I want to say no. I'm talking that too, but I'm talking about other things too, where automatically people are handicapped, either by you or by their inability to actually pursue things for themselves and take care of things for themselves. And they see you as the strong person to do that for them. So you kind of have to get to a point where you just ball up, man, and you nip it in the bud. Otherwise, in the end, it's not helping anyone. It's not helping them. It's not helping you. So the first bit of advice I can give you is when you're ready to finally approach that person, not confront that person, but to approach that person with the intention of having a discussion with them, don't do it in a passive-aggressive manner. That's one of the things with people that tend to say yes to everything. They tend to be extremely passive-aggressive. They never actually approach the person and voice their opinions about what they're being asked to do. They just say yes, but then behind closed doors or to other people, they just bitch and complain about being asked to do things that they really don't want to do. And yet when that person, the point of your frustration, walks in the room or calls you or is having a conversation with you, you don't say anything. That's not good. It doesn't help your relationship, and it's extremely passive-aggressive behavior that you're just sending out. You're putting out as energy out into your surroundings, into your universe, and people pick up on that, and that automatically tells them that you're someone that they could take advantage of. So you have to learn to stop yourself when you find or you sense that you're being passive-aggressive. and just analyze it. Think about it. Why am I behaving this way? Why am I thinking this way? And how can I change it? And a lot of people just have a hard time picking up a pen and paper and just writing out their feelings. There's something really powerful about putting words down on paper. It's amazing the kind of insight that you get about the type of person that you are when you put pen to paper and you just pour out your feelings on the paper. Don't feel bad, because you don't feel bad about anything, because it's just you expressing yourself on a piece of paper. No one else is going to read it. No one else is going to comment on it or react to it. But at least when you write it down, you just pour it all out. You get all those emotions out of the way, and then you can reread what you've written back and you get an idea of where you are emotionally, what kind of person you are. Are you the kind of person that is just super, super passive aggressive? Are you aggressive, or are you just passive? And those characteristics aren't necessarily a bad thing. I actually think that it's pretty healthy to have all three. But we're human, so we tend to be one personality more than the other. But for me, out of the three personalities, I really find passive aggression to just be the weakest one, because it leaves you open for people to take advantage of you. So one of the things I can advise you, well, the first thing is, if you are passive aggressive, be aware of that. Try to sense that and write your feelings down on paper, analyze it, and if it turns out that you find yourself to be passive aggressive, then you need to figure out a way to approach the person that you need to talk to, the person that you really originally wanted to say no to anyway. Ask them why they asked you to do X, Y, and Z. And do your best not to do it in a confrontational manner, because when you approach someone in an aggressive or confrontational manner, it tends to put them on the defensive. So then you have a communication breakdown right then and there, and then there's just really no point in continuing. So try to approach them in a manner that just says, I just want to have a discussion with you. I'm trying to figure out who I am and how you see me. What is it that I put out there that makes you think that you can reflect back to me in a manner that just makes me feel really uncomfortable a lot of the times, especially when you're asking me for favors. And a lot of those times, those favors I really don't want to do, but I end up doing it anyway because of X, Y, and Z. I'm afraid of losing your friendship or your love, or I think you're not going to like me, or I think it's going to make you mad. So, and then try to listen. Even if you think they're just spitting out bull, just try to listen and ask yourself, what is this person trying to tell me? And filter through all that and get down to the heart of what it is they're trying to say. Are they saying, oh, it's because you're a punk, you say yes to everything? I mean, they might not come out and say that. Of course, they're not going to come out and say that. But the words that people choose really does tell you what they think and what they're thinking of you. And the words that people use when they speak to you, especially people that love you, it really is a reflection of what you were sending out to them. They're bouncing back what you gave them based on your personality traits. So always write things down. I find that it's really helped me out a lot to be able to write things down. And when they tell you what they think that about you and why they feel that it's really easy for them to approach you for favors, then ask them if they realize how it makes you feel. And ask them to be really honest. You're not going to be mad. And really mean it when you say you're not going to be mad. Ask them, do you know what you're doing? Do you realize what you're doing when you do those things? When you ask me things that you yourself know that you'd say no to? If someone else asked you, or if I asked you to do for me? Because a lot of the times these are the same people that will not do things for you, and they won't have any problem saying no to you. And yet you just don't know how to say no to them or to anyone else. So ask them, do you realize what you're doing when you ask me for these favors? Is there something about me that makes you feel like real comfortable or chill about asking me these favors? And then stand firm. Like, make a decision right when you're talking with them. So it's going to be a multitasking kind of interaction where you really are actively listening to what they're saying, but then there's another part of your brain that's processing what they're saying and putting it in little pockets in parts of your brain where you say, okay, this is how I'm going to react from now on, and stand firm and share that information with that person, that individual or those individuals, and say, I don't want you to feel like you can't ask me for help, but there are certain things that you need to try to do yourself. And list what those things are and say, don't ask me to do this, don't ask me to do that, especially if we're not talking about an emergency here. And a lot of the times these things are not emergencies. They just see you as the yes person. So you're someone that they can go to and just ask you for things to do for them. And while they sit back and just chill and relax and wait for you to do the hard work, the labor, and come back with the result of it. So sometimes in the beginning, when you actually stand firm, they are going to test you because for a long time you've been the yes person. So they will test you. So that's when saying no as a complete sentence comes in really handy. Just say no and don't explain yourself. And it's an amazing feeling. Sometimes it's an empowering feeling too, when you just say no and you just stand there and watch them. It's okay to be awkward. It really is. To have an awkward silence and not feel like you need to fill it up with ramblings and explanations for why you're saying no. Just say no and leave it at that.